Hello there. This is going to be my review of Loki episode 5. If you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch it first or else you'll be spoiled by this review. But with that out of the way, let's get into the episode. So Loki is time slipping again for reasons unknown, and I really want to see an explanation on why this is, because it just kind of happens after the season finale, and there's not really a real explanation on why it happens. Like, sure, you know, people assume it's because he got kicked through the He Who Remains time door, but Sylvie's been through that door multiple times, and she's not time slipping, so I'm thinking it must be some kind of like intervention of some kind. I'm guessing all these questions will be answered by the final episode. If not, then, well, I guess it's just a plot hole, isn't it? So it turns out Casey's real name is Frank, and he escaped from Alcatraz. It's nice to see that not all of the variants that worked at the TVA were from the modern day. B-15 was a nurse in New York 2012, which was the same year as the first Avengers film. Mobius's real name is Don, and he sells jet skis in Ohio 2022. I'm wondering if this branch timeline was one where Thanos lost, because this branch timeline seems a bit cheerful for one with half its population missing. At this point, Loki should have figured out what's going on. It's a bit strange for a man of his intellect that he hasn't yet. Ouroboros is a science fiction author and professor. Like I said, it's a bit lazy, I feel, just to have people from the TVA to be from the 2010s to the 2020s. I would have been very intrigued if, say, Ouroboros was from the 40s or something, and B-15 was from the 1800s maybe, giving her more depth to her needs for freedom and people's lives. Or maybe an extreme like Mobius was from the Middle Ages or something. I want to see more creativity with this concept of variants from all along the timeline of the TVA, which then begs the question, why is everyone at the TVA human too? I feel like there should be more people from all over the galaxy there too, but maybe I'm thinking too deeply into this, or maybe I'm completely valid. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is it like making the universe seem a bit smaller, or do you think it's just fine? So, Loki gives Obi the handbook to build a tempad. This is probably something I didn't like about the episode, and the MCU in general. The fact Obi is able to build this in 19 months using 2022 technology, when he's a science teacher, it's more offensive than average guy Antonio converting his phone into a fully functioning morpher in Power Rangers Samurai. It's dumb. The average Joe should not be able to make advanced technology such as this. So, anyway, Loki begins to recruit his friends from off the timeline, and at this point I feel like calling them his friends is even a stretch, because he's not even been shown to be friends with anyone in the room except Mobius. The whole season has been either the mission, or Loki having conversations with either Mobius or Sylvie. I don't think OB, B-15 or Casey can be really classed as his friends, but you know, the episode's trying to push that kind of message, but whatever. So Loki finds Sylvie, and Sylvie is willing to die on her hill of just walking away after giving people free will and living on her timeline. And you know, it's starting to get frustrating at this point that she's a bit blind to the bigger picture, but it all comes around at the end, and it's good to see. So Loki finally admits what he wants, which is his friends back again. And I don't buy it. I just don't think the series has sold me on Loki being good friends with anyone except Mobius. I don't think he's barely shared any screen time with B-15 or Casey at all. So Sylvie visits a record shop, and the entire timeline begins falling apart. I'm now wondering if this is happening on timelines. Is this what an incursion from multiverse of madness looks like when it happens? So Sylvie escapes the branch, I think, because she's the only thing not originating from that timeline, so she's not being spaghettified along with the rest of it. So I'm guessing that's what she did when the TVA fell in the previous episode. It's really satisfying Sylvie admitting that she was wrong, and it's really nice to see some character growth there. Loki realises he can control his time slipping, and I guess he just ditched everyone and leaves them to get spaghettified to go back to the TVA. It's a bit of a dick move, but okay. So, in conclusion, it was an okay episode, not great, not terrible. I feel like everything here could have been wrapped up in maybe half the length of the episode and left more time for the juicy stuff at the end. Like I said, I'm not buying the power of friendship message in this episode. I feel like maybe once again, like what happened in Ahsoka, the episode just kind of lost the momentum of the absolute banger of the episode we had last week. So we'll have to just see what the finale brings. That's all for now, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for today's upload. Please support me by watching my other videos and interacting with the channel as much as possible. It would mean the world to me. I'll see you guys later for this week's upload, but until then guys, bye!